Hey, I'm Reagan Navard, and I will be applying to Relevant Media Group as a social media editor. To tell you a little bit about myself, I studied journalism and electronic media at the University of Tennessee for 3 years prior to losing my father. But after I lost him, I felt like a place where I grew up for 19 years felt like it was a random place to me, and it didn't feel like home anymore. I was really confused and lost, and I felt like all my writing just was out the water. All the things I've worked for were just gone, and it came to a stopping point for me. And so this led to a spontaneous trip to Florida in 2017 of the summer, and that's when I found Full Sail University. This place was more than just a school to me. It was a safe haven. It was a home. It was a place that I could actually find myself and know what I wanted to do. I learned a lot of personal branding, social media management, and Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, and design, things like that. But the main thing that I took away from MCBS was what my strength was. I plan to continue sharing my creativity with others because it motivates me every day to meet somebody new or continue to just share my story because you're never gonna know who's out there that needs to hear that and can relate to it as well. I plan to influence others within social media and personal branding and writing just because it's the new way of communicating with others. A lot of people have social anxiety now and stuff like that. So I use media and especially social media to just connect to those people that feel like I may have been me at one time, just laying in my bed constantly and not wanting to talk to anybody, but you want to talk to somebody. So that's what social media I use for. It's for a human connection, and it's just a big influence how people communicate in this 21st century. I plan to continue sharing my creativity through this brand and through different outlets of media just to express a human connection. I felt a human connection when I first landed on the homepage about probably 2 years ago and just knew immediately that I have a sense of belonging here. And I think that's important when you carry a brand. It's just you want to connect a simple and clean message to somebody. I don't like labeling strengths and weaknesses as strengths and weaknesses. I'd rather say failures and opportunities. Some opportunities that I've had in the past are personal branding, social media management, marketing, and design. And I've created 2 issues of a magazine myself that's called Mimosa. It's about lifestyle, travel, fashion, beauty tips, and different things just to connect. And through those things as well, I share my personal story and why I do what I do. So I would say those are some of my opportunities I've had. I've had other opportunities such as a visual designer, merchandising, media strategist, and web designers as well. But I would say some of my failures would be being able to overcome a learning disability and just overthinking about my decision making that will just kind of leave me stuck in a process. Um, but I can always overcome those and just continue working to develop that as well. Overcoming difficult situations is something that I've kind of always gone through and overcame. But one story that I always think of is losing my dad, who is also my best friend. After I lost him, I was really lost and confused, and I didn't know where I was going, honestly. Grieving is a different process for everybody. You don't know what road it's going to take, and it could go down north, south, east, or west. And you just really don't know, and you got to overcome that in your own way. But overcoming this, for my experience, was moving 658 miles away and becoming independent in who I was and just being on my own and learning how to just do things on my own as an actual adult and how to just live and breathe every day. It was really difficult for me for about 2 years, but eventually I went to go seek therapy and got on different medications. And I have just been adapting to this change so well now, with the help that I've gotten and just reached out to others and being able to connect with others. So I think this really deals with human connections and just making sure that everybody has a safe haven wherever they are. I think this is important carrying in brands and marketing and just having a human connection. And that's what it's about. I learned that I could be my own person with or without somebody, even though it might hurt, but I learned that I can be independent and I can carry my own. So I think that's just really important concept to take in. Being able to connect with relevant media group and share their story and even share my own is just something that I'm so passionate about. I think the core values that you guys carry and just the message that you guys send and involving Jesus in your message as well is so important that people need to grasp on. This brand is just so connected to me already because of what you guys do, and to be a part of that opportunity is just so motivating. It's speechless. It's literally something that I dream of. Being able to grow with relevant, by developing different content and utilizing social media and the best practices is something that will motivate me constantly and just help me become more independent and grow as who I am as well. And I think that's important, and that is why I want to be a part of Relevant Media Group. Thank you for listening. To start with my feedback, I'm just going to say that I need to practice this a lot more often because it took me so many tries to actually get correct answers. I feel like this is non-disclosure behind the scenes type of thing. So like if someone actually looks at this from Relevant Media Group, this is feedback on my part. I just need to practice, which practice makes perfect. You know what I'm saying? So clear and concise answers. See, I'm not going to redo that because it's behind the scenes. I am tired. Clear and concise answers, I would give myself like 1 to 5. I would say 4. I'm probably not going to give myself a 5 on anything just because that's like one of my first times doing something like this. So I don't think I was perfect yet. But I think my answers were pretty good. I'd probably hire me. So using specific examples, yes, I would say another 4 because again, I'm not going to give myself a 5. Just because I used examples of my magazine that I created myself to connect to their magazine. So I think that was really important. Demonstrated research and understanding the industry organization. Yes, definitely. I would say another. I'm just going to rate myself all 4s. I'm a 4. But yes, I think just connecting to social media and the different generations that we're living in as well. So I think that was really important. Use relevant experiences and accomplishments. Yes, as well. I think that was really good. I was using relevant experiences of becoming independent and just being who I am, I feel like. So nonverbal communication, eye contact, this is something I really, really, really need to work on. Usually, like, I'm really, in person, I'm, like, really, like, eye contact all the time. But I guess over the screen is just a little different. So, yeah. Posture and body language, I was sitting up the entire time. Maybe my video cut me off a few times with that. But, that's it. Tone of voice, when I'm explaining something, I become very, like, robotic or monotone, I guess you could say. So it's just, I mean, I don't know. But when I am explaining a story, I will, like, go in waves, but at the same time, I can become like very monotone and just like, But facial expressions, I try to smile all the time because that's something that I carry my strength in, is a smile. So, yeah. Professionalism, positive energy, always. Professional experience, I mean, I could definitely do better, but I am home on a Sunday at 9 p.m., so this is what you get, Kevin. I'm sorry. And my smile, of course, I always smile. So I think that's it. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you later, alligator.